Isn't it obvious that a civilization without purpose should be occupied by a media without meaning? For without any direction, the masses will wander aimless through an empty abyss, blinded by the illusion of choice, while being force-fed the same repeated ideas, raising the generations in a world barren of inspiration, limiting the ability to create, merely to have the consumer regurgitate the same bland material they've unwittingly endured, forming an endless cycle of rehashing and rebranding garbage. There still exists a lonely few that attempt to work against the grain. For this, they are condemned to a life of poverty, rejection, and slander. For the media machine punishes those that seek real change, instead rewarding the obedient bloodhounds that whine to be fed absolute slop. Civilization's last gasp for originality was reinvigorated with the internet, providing the previously unheard a public platform to convey their new ideas to the world. This existence decayed as quickly as it had begun, deteriorating into a downward spiral fueled by the same bland villains that seek to corrupt all thought. Purity has been exchanged for profit, as the bare minimum effort is now presented as a virtue. In the world of competitively thieving content, cheap reactions are now branded as the ideal. Rather than providing new insights into the human experience, the audience has been condemned to forcibly spend their eternity watching soulless empty shells pretend to possess emotions. Where there is no purpose, there is no spirit, and yet the audience still applauds.
My friends, it's an immense responsibility. You're living in a historic hour. Do remember that always. Live in that sense, I beg of you, of history and of destiny. When this period comes to be written, and men look back at, if we did right, if we stood firm, if we stood greatly, it will be a matter of honor and of veneration for generations to come. I could not ask to live at any other moment of history than this, because never has mankind, never has the human species been confronted with such possibilities, with such choices of disaster or of greater heights and greater glories.